So I've quit masturbating for 1 year and corn for 4 years, and the amount of impact it's had on my life has been tremendous. I've lost 25 pounds in total weight. I'm getting leaner and building muscle mass. I'm networking and making connections with people who are making 7-figure incomes. I grew the balls to quit my dead-end job that was just sucking the soul out of me. And my YouTube channel growth has exploded in the last 2 months. All realms of my world have been upgraded, and I truly believe semen retention plays a major role in that. Now, it wasn't always like this. You see, I used to be really addicted to masturbating, doing it every night and even sometimes in the morning. One thing I realized from this is that I never had the energy to hit the gym, socialize, or take big risks in my life. I was operating at a 50% energy tank level where if I just went to work that day, that was a huge win for me. I guess what I'm trying to say is when you give into your short-term pleasures, you're doing a huge disservice to yourself because the amount of energy you get on semen retention just makes everything else in your life so much easier. Before I begin this video, I want to state that there is no scientific evidence to back up an increased level of testosterone while on semen retention, but there are many people in history who have claimed positive effects from retaining their seed. I'm someone that's very skeptical about these things, especially when there's not a lot of scientific evidence to back it up. But honestly, from my personal experience, I highly recommend that you try semen retention because it follows one fundamental law of the universe that I truly believe in and that has been proven by every realm of my world, and that is delayed gratification. Whatever in life requires a delay in your gratification has been proven by science, philosophy, psychology, and even religion that something worth of value comes from delaying your pleasure. Whatever requires you to do something hard right now for a better future has always proved to do some good in your life. And since semen retention follows this law of delaying your pleasure because you're not busting nuts all the time, I do believe it has some inherent value for us men. So in this video, I will go through how retention makes everything else so much easier, and by the end of the video, I'll give you 2 core principles that I follow that helps me stay on semen retention. So starting with the gym, retention makes working out so much easier. All my life, the most consecutive period I've had in the gym was 6 months at max. Now I've been in the gym for 1 year and 2 months counting. You'd have to put a gun to my head to keep me from going to the gym. That's how addicted I am to it. Being consistent in the gym is one of the hardest habits to develop, but once you do it, it's an S-tier habit that makes your whole life so much better. And the one trait that has helped me keep a daily gym routine has actually been retention, because I know the most valuable resource a man can possess is energy. Have you ever noticed when you ejaculate, you're schmucked? You lose all your energy, all your motivation, you feel like a complete degenerate. Your lizard brain convinces you that you can start to do whatever other degenerate shit that you want to do, like eat junk food and maybe bust a couple more nuts that day because you already ejaculated, so there's no point in doing something productive now because you don't have any more energy. Your day is ruined, right? That was my life story every time I busted a fat nut. It's like someone drained my life force from my body and I feel vulnerable to any external threats. When you retain your semen, you feel this burst of energy ready to be used into the world, and especially in the gym. Even Ronnie Coleman used to retain his semen when he competed, and I completely relate to this as a competitive soccer player because every time I busted a nut on the day I had a soccer game, I'd play like complete shit. I'll be buckling my knees up and down the field. I would get much more tired. My touch would be sloppy. I would just be a potato on the field, all because I nutted. And the opposite is also true. Whenever I retained my semen for a soccer game, I was fucking levitating on the field. I turned into Ronaldo. And I would argue it's one of the most important realms to keep high energy in because we need our bodies as vehicles to get to the goals we desire. The second thing that retention makes easier is social interactions and attracting women. So I've heard people and even big YouTubers like Captain Sinbad and Cole Hastings talk about how a woman can smell the retention on you, and I always thought, how the fuck would they ever know if we're on semen retention? But then when I experienced this myself, I truly believe that they do have some sense of this because I feel like women are drawn more to my energy when I'm on retention. And after reflecting on this, I broke it down to 2 reasons why. Number 1, retention makes my social anxiety go away. For some reason, every time I busted a nut, I'd feel so much anxiety and guilt just conquer my body. Especially if I were to go have conversations with people in public, I would just be so reserved into myself. And don't even get me started with women. I would even want to say a word to girls because I was gonna say the wrong thing or be super low confident, and bro, it was a fucking mess with women. And the reason why I used to get social anxiety is because every time you get intimate with yourself, you're basically cheating your biology and your brain to thinking that you're able to reproduce your offspring. But deep inside, because I know I'm not an elite man and I know that this is all fake, I'd only get more anxious when it comes to socializing because I feel like a fraud. So when I'm on retention, I'm able to fully be myself, and I just feel much more comfortable talking to people, making a statement, and taking a risk. When you're able to speak your mind without worrying about what others think about you, it attracts people towards you because being authentic in a pretentious world is so valuable these days. And being on retention has definitely helped me be more authentic and express my true self. The second way retention makes attracting women and social interactions easier is that it allows you to take more risk and be more ballsy. I've noticed that whenever I'm on retention, I'm able to take a bigger risk in life. I was able to quit my dead-end job that was just sucking my soul. I invested over $30,000 into coaching programs and courses. I've been able to speak my mind more easily. I mean, one thing that my audience always realizes within my channel is that I'm a very raw person. I always keep it real and 100, meaning I don't sugarcoat anything. And as crazy as this seems, retention plays a huge role in that because it allows me to communicate in this manner to you guys because I'm not afraid and I have a lot of energy to just show and express myself. Just 1 year ago, I'd be shaking to just speak about the subject online. And on top of that, destroying my social anxiety and taking more risk in my life has definitely strengthened my bond between me and my girl because it has allowed my girl to trust in me since semen retention led to the pursuit of delayed gratification. She's always telling me how much I've matured in this journey and it makes her feel closer to me because obviously, you know, I'm not busting nuts all the time. I know it's crazy to say that being on semen retention leads to all of these great things, but when one thing affects your energy, it affects your whole life. The last way retention makes your life easier is just entering deep work sessions. Deep work is a concept that I've been trying to master over the last year and is one of the most profound tactics that has helped me get what I want in life, especially the goals I desire. And simply transmuting my sexual energy into deep work has helped me just manifest it into creating the life I want to build. Now, I know sexual transmutation gets a lot of hate because it was first popularized by Napoleon Hill in his first international best-selling book, Think and Grow Rich, which has a lot of positive ideas, by the way. But because he was a con artist and fooled a lot of people with fake stories about his life, it does get a lot of hate. Regardless of the facts, I think you can learn from a con man, a good person, a bad person, whoever it is. You can learn any experience from anyone, and I've definitely learned some positive things from his books, which has personally inspired me to put more creative work towards my writing and putting out these videos for you guys on a consistent basis. If I were to relapse, I would definitely feel more tired and unmotivated to just get on this camera and speak like this to you guys right now. What I'm trying to say is that retention makes doing my deep work that much easier because I'm not spending that energy busting a nut. And this is evident when you take the sex organs out of a bull and you make it a calm cow. It no longer has that competitive drive to mate and compete with other male bulls. I truly believe that our semen is a superpower in the sense that it gives us that competitive edge over others to go out in the world and just fuck everyone. According to Dopamine Nation, addictions like masturbating can negatively affect your homeostasis in your body, which causes your pain-pleasure balance to break, hence increasing your tolerance for pleasure. What this basically means is that the more you overindulge fapping, the less pleasure you'll feel every session you do it. You probably had those days where you fap 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Every session that you do it, the pleasure gets decreased. And the opposite is also true. When you don't buzz for 7 days, that one session you have after those 7 days is just... So you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with deep work? We've all had those days where it's just so hard to sit down and do our work. And I'm telling you, it's because of your addiction to fapping. What proved to be the most effective strategies for me to quitting corn and stop fapping is number one, have a clear goal and an all-consuming desire to reach that goal. When you have a goal that is so important to you that you'd rather die than not reach it, it'll make semen retention that much easier to do. The problem isn't your addiction to fapping. The problem is that you don't care about anything else in your life, so you'd rather escape with busting nuts. If you had a desire to achieve a goal and that goal was so important to you, then you would simply put all your energy into that. Nothing else should matter, and this is the mentality that you need to adopt in order to quit something like fapping. Bro, you think you're gonna identify yourself as a fapper when you have a goal that is much more desirable, that is much more important to you, something that you wanna prioritize with your whole fucking willpower and just... Bro, I don't know what to tell you. You have to go out and try many things until you find that one main thing that you want to give everything to. And then by getting competent in that one thing, you earn the motivation to keep going. Nobody is motivated all the time. Even me, I have terrible days where I just can't get myself to work. But you earn it on the small milestones towards your purpose. So if you want to get on semen retention, just invest all your money and time into yourself and towards these goals. Rather than shit that's just going to distract you. Go find specialized knowledge in a field that you want to get really good at. Have a clear goal that you can devote your life to. And if you don't know what that is, just keep learning about yourself, and by slowly trying new things, you'll slowly be more self-aware of the person you want to be. When you learn from your failures and have a positive attitude, even in the most negative situations, then you, my friend, have won in life. And you've made something like semen retention so much easier to conquer. The second strategy I use to make semen retention easier is building an intimate relationship with a partner. So usually when guys get intimate with themselves, they're just trying to fill a void because they're lonely. Building intimacy and love with my partner has definitely increased my will, my drive, and my overall mental health towards prosperity. Behind many great men, there was a great woman that pushed them towards success. And I understand in most of my videos, I argue that you have to be a great man yourself to attract a great woman. And that still holds true, but it doesn't change the fact that a woman who believes in you strengthens your bond between her and you and makes every other sexual urges or even any other external threat that much easier to conquer as well. So honestly, if you practice retention by establishing a clear goal from point number one, then it'll make attracting a girl that much easier, which in return will make retention even more easier. My final thoughts on this is, even if you don't believe in the mumbo jumbo shit, you can't deny that delaying your gratification is good for you because there's endless proof in the world that shows otherwise. So if you're skeptical like me when it comes to like sexual transmutation and semen retention, then it would help if you just took the good out of everything you learn and try to apply in your own life, because it will serve to benefit you rather than hold you back. Have this mentality with any domain of life, and I promise you, not only will you make semen retention easier, but your mindset towards anything will be easier to conquer as well. If you like this video, please subscribe for more content on masculinity, philosophy, and relationships. Until next time, guys.